Hello, my friends. Welcome to the 100K Club AI. This is what it's going to look like on the homepage when you get here. Just enter your information and you can log in. Now, once you're inside, this is where we go through all of the different type of things that you'll need to build your digital product business. So you'll be greeted with welcome to the 100K Club AI, and you can search all your tools here. And basically what all of these tools do is it walks you through basically all of the different elements that you'll need to create your digital product, from finding the problem to the solution, to creating a unique solution, to building your actual products, your offers, your digital asset portfolio, which will be multiple products. You can build your sales page. You can basically do everything in here. So what we want to start though with, because this is very relevant to the training that you have gone through today, is the first question you'll ask is essentially, where is the opportunities? Like what sort of direction do I want to head in, right? Because maybe you have some ideas, maybe you don't have any ideas. You just want to understand which is the right direction for me right in this moment of time. So to do that, we built something called the Opportunity Map Builder. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you identify your topic, your audience, the problem, the outcome, and everything else that you might need to create your digital products. Now, the key important point is when you're first starting, it's not about, it's trying to identify a problem. That is the first thing that you want to do. And then once we understand the problem, then we can go into use some of the other tools that's going to help us to create the unique solution and actually build the product, the offer, the sales page, and all of that sort of stuff. But the first part is to understand which direction do we want to head in. So to do that, head over to the Opportunity Map Builder, click on Use Tool, and it's going to ask a few simple questions. So the first one is, what topic are you interested in? So we'll go with, let's go just as an example, we'll go with manifestation. Then what would you most like, who do you want to help basically? We can say busy moms. What's the biggest challenge, frustration, or problem you've noticed in this space? I'd say mums feeling disconnected after kids. So obviously a common thing is mums feeling like they're not themselves, like they've lost their identity, right? What personal experience do you have with this topic? So you could basically just say, something like that. I'm a mum of 3, or I have kids, or something of that nature. What outcome would you like to help people achieve? So essentially, mom who is, who's busy, wants to manifest, wants to create her dream life, feels disconnected after the kids. What would be an outcome that would be amazing for her? So let's go with something like feeling more confident about her life direction. And with all these things, it's very, very simple. That's the whole point of the Opportunity Map Builder. You can come in here with barely even a seed of an idea. Okay, you just need to have some direction that you think that you want to head in, which is most likely going to be something that is related to the current, your current life, right? That's usually the best place to start. It's to start with something that you've lived, like a lived experience, something like that, because that's going to allow you to add the most value when you're creating your product. So once you've added those few questions in, didn't really need much information at all. Now we're just going to hit generate. And what it's going to do is actually going to map out the scenario of what this actually would look like if we were to turn this into some digital products. Okay, so it's just produced the output for us. And just one thing to notice here is notice how the specialized AI, obviously that we've trained this AI, but notice that it started with the problem, not the product. And that's the thing with generic AI tools. You ask it something like this, it's just going to give you some random products that sound good, but it hasn't actually pressure tested the ideas, right? It's not about having a whole bunch of ideas. It's about having the right ideas. So what we want to do here is just have a look at this and look at some of the information that it is presented to us based on the very, very minimal information that we gave it. So the core problem here, restated for clarity, after having kids, a lot of mums wake up one day and realize they've been so focused on everyone else that they've completely lost sight of what they actually want. They're not depressed, they're not ungrateful, they just feel fuzzy. So that's pretty good, right? I feel like that's something that most people would identify with, most mums, feeling disconnected, a little lost, a little unsure about how to find their way back. So it's now giving us the desired outcome. So what is it, the thing that they're really going to be buying, right? A mum, thinking about buying a digital product, what is the ultimate outcome, right? Because like it says here, the mums aren't really buying manifestation, right? What they're really buying is the feeling of waking up and actually knowing what they want again, that they want to feel like a whole person, not just a mum, not just a wife, not just someone's everything, but a woman with her own dreams, her own direction, and her own sense of self. So this is all just unbelievable wording that what we will do is eventually in other tools over the next couple of days, I'll be showing you how to create offers, sales pages, actually build the products and everything like that. But it'll be using this sort of information here that will be entering the conversation that's already happening in the person's head. In this case, the mum, you want them to be able to read a sales page and say, oh my God, this person is speaking to my soul. That's exactly what this is doing, and it's delivering it to us on a silver platter. And really, like as I showed you before, there was very, very minimal information that we inputted, right? It was just basically not, like I said, not even a seed of an idea, and it's already given us everything that we need to create a digital product here. And what it's doing now is it's pressure testing these ideas to let us know what everything is like. And if, in this case, everything looks good, we're getting the green light here across all the different sectors that we've trained the AI in. But if we didn't get the green light, this AI has been trained to challenge and push back on everything. It's not like, when you go to use ChatGPT or Claude and it's so agreeing, it just agrees with everything that you say. This is the opposite. It's going to basically challenge and disagree with you and push back to make sure that we're pressure testing the ideas and you're getting the right output. So but in this case, everything looks good. Green lights all the way around. Demand, green light. Audience specificity, which is one of the most important things. Green light. Transformation clarity, green light. Credibility alignment, green light. Overall, green light. So we're good to go there. Now, in terms of the product formats, what it's recommending, it's going to give you a few different options, and you can just choose the one you want to go with. So we've got a PDF workbook that, as an example here, find yourself again. We've got a mini course, the reconnection method. We have an audio guide, the 5-minute morning reset for mums. We've got an email challenge. That's interesting. A 7-day email challenge. That's actually quite unique. So you basically write a series of emails, and that's actually the product itself. Super amazing idea for a product, actually. We've got a workshop, reclaim your direction, and then we've got a journal if you want to create a journal. So, and then it obviously gives you a starting point, recommending that we start with a PDF, which I think makes sense. It's giving you things to look out for. For example, let's just have a look what it says here. Okay, so that's actually a really great example. Don't go too deep into the whole theory of manifestation. And this is what something happens when people actually start going to create a product. They start learning it. Maybe they're an expert, or maybe they're not an expert. They're just learning, but they end up trying to teach people everything that they know in too much like theoretical detail. Whereas in reality, people just want an outcome. They want results. They want you to lay out the steps. Do this first. Do this second. Do this third. You don't need to know all the details. It's basically, it's like AI. You don't need to know how AI works. Or if you're going to drive a car, you get in the car. You don't need to understand how the motor works, right? People fly airplane. You jump on an airplane. You don't know how the airplane actually works. We don't know how Wi-Fi works, right? You don't need to know all the details, and that's the same thing with a digital product. People actually don't want to know the details. They just want the result. Okay, so the opportunity in one sentence: a simple manifestation-based workbook that helps busy moms who've lost themselves in motherhood reconnect with who they are and feel genuinely confident about where their life is headed. So this is basically, like I said, this is called the Opportunity Map Builder. What it's doing is it's actually mapping out the opportunity and the progression of, it's a starting point for where we're going to head. So if, like I said, everything here was a green light, but if it wasn't, if it was a red light, what that would mean is we'd have to go and make adjustments. But in this case, it's a green light, so we're all good to go. And this is how you can get started. Something as simple as this. All you got to do is fill out a few of these questions, and you can start getting ready to build your digital product. And then over the next few days, we're going to show you some of these other tools for how to actually create your unique solution, create your actual offer, create your actual product, and everything else like that. But for now, this is the Opportunity Builder, the most relevant tool, specialized AI tool to help you that complements today's training. So I hope everything was explained well. and I'll see you on the next one.